Before we get into the details, it's extremely important that you have a full understanding of the construct of our geocentric electromagnetic universe. If you're not familiar with this geocentric model, we're going to leave links in the description for you to catch up on the basics. In short, we're not on a ball. Our Earth currently consists of 4 concentric rings of physical land, beginning and spiraling out from the 0-point axis at the center of the plane, just like a drop of water that falls into a larger body of water.
This is where you live.
Creating a ripple
This
effect,
is what the real world
from
looks
its
like.
point of impact, concentrically expanding outwards. The very middle center of this vast earthly concentric plane is what's known as the 0-point axis. This is what we refer to as the magnetic North Pole. This central pole is not just a symbolical metaphor, but an actual physical marker said to be a magical, or should I say, magnetic pillar, sometimes referred to as a holy mountain or the tree of life.
Avatar.
The first big red pill you're going to have to swallow is that beyond all these dimensional fields of energy from where we are now, in our northern and southern extremities, are other extraterrestrial lands inhabited by other extraterrestrial civilizations. This is what we might call extraterrestrial outer and inner space, extraterrestrial outer and inner Earth. I know, it sounds crazy, just bear with me. Each of these 4-dimensional rings of Earth have their own lunar, solar systems and seasons, and their own sun and moons, which would be our current 7 wandering stars. Saturn and Jupiter being the solar sun and lunar moon of the outermost ring, domain, or realm of Earth. Mars and Venus being the solar sun and lunar moon of the next concentric domain of Earth inside that. This Mars and Venus domain would be the main realm beyond our southern Antarctic boundary and the Aurora Australis electromagnetic field. Then, of course, we have our own solar sun, Apollo, and lunar moon, Artemis, in this domain. And last but not least, Mercury, within the inner central realm beyond our northern Arctic boundary and Aurora Borealis electromagnetic field. This inner star, Mercury, is androgynous, both a solar sun and lunar moon in one. It's sometimes referred to as the inner Earth sun, or black sun, or planet Nibiru, or planet X. Now, the full expanse of our entire earthly plane, with all the different realms, would be what the ancient Greeks referred to as Mother Gaia. The Kemetic Egyptians called the Benben or Mother Geb, and the Indo-Vedics referred to as the Bhumandala. In this presentation, we're going to explain and show how the spiral expansion of space, time, and matter began and continues to be. Let's go.
Welcome to The Truth is Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
Your boy Drew, the Hood Oracle. We in the building.
Me in the building.
All right, so let's jump into this.
Today is the... We're waiting on this, y'all. We're waiting to get this platform.
You a little too excited.
This is my shit right here. Everybody, if people see this, they're going to be like, oh, here we go. KB and his damn flat earth.
Exactly.
Yeah, but you know what? You got to hear me.
So my question is, first question is, that's an interesting video. But
yeah,
who is this dude? What's his credentials? What's his backing? Like where is he getting this from? Is he just reading this from a book and then, regurgitating it back to us?
Yeah. So
or does he have some type of like, hey, look, I study XYZ and I'm gonna put this together so y'all can explain it?
Well, a lot of this information is hidden from us for purposely. But yeah, I mean, shout out to the guy in that video. I picked that video to show because a lot of the stuff that I came across, he hit it right on the nose about, above our lands, the outer lands, everything's
I'm gonna say this. That's my first time
hearing
hearing flat Earth broken down like with the layers.
Yeah,
I've never in my life heard anybody bring up. Well, it's in layers. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is how he did it.
It's not stacked on each other. It's out like a water drop, like you said. So it's basically like you got. So basically, the reasons the Antarctica is ice wall, right? We have that. They don't tell us this because they just make Antarctica like a continent, but it's not. It's a surrounding ice wall,
right?
That keeps our water enclosed. Okay. Beyond the ice wall, there's more land. This is what they're hiding from you. This is why they make up space. Okay. Richard Admiral Byrd, one of the first explorers, he talked about these lands. He's actually, I should have brought that video up, but I got other videos, but I could just tell you. He brought up the fact that first he went to the North Pole. We can't go there. We can't freely go there. I don't know if you know that. We can't freely explore the North Pole. We can't freely explore Antarctica without a tour guide.
Right.
So if you're wondering why we can't just go there and we're supposed to be free and we're supposed to be able to do what we want to do, you can't, because they're hiding. Just like you can't go to Area 51, there's places you can't go. And as a human, normal person, you don't have that right.
But isn't that like, let's pause there for a second.
Yeah.
I always just find it interesting, like, bro, like, how you just gonna tell me I can't go to some part of the world? Like,
yeah.
I can't go visit there. I can't go on vacation over here. Like, why? Like, I'll give them government facilities because, like, at the end of the day, can't nobody just come to my house?
Yeah.
But like, this is a part of the earth, a part of land.
Yeah.
I can't go explore it without
Nope.
getting my head shot off.
Nope. You can't go to explore the Grand Canyon. You can't explore a lot of places. Like, you know, people ask, like, why do they have, like, you know, why they have national parks? Do you know why they have these certain areas, part of the world, just like, you can't just come here, live, and set up shop here. You can come visit, stay on the trail. You can visit it. Don't go off the trail because you're going to get lost. They have to come find you, whatever, et cetera, et cetera. All these are for reasons. They're all parameters put up to keep you in line for not discovering where you are, because it's a domino effect. If you knew where you lived, then you'll find out who you are. And if you find out who you really are, you wouldn't do the 9-to-5 rat race. You wouldn't be in this program where you have to get up and make a living, take care of a family. Like, you take care of your family, but you'll be so much more. You know what I'm saying? Like, they have to hide because you know, what do you guys don't know that out there? People out there, you guys are special. Very, very special beings living here. And they don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know that there's a divine creator of this place. That's why NASA's satanic. That's why.
They also say, just because you brought that up, supposedly, you know, the T minus on countdown.
Come on, man.
It's
Take
supposed
the
to
T,
be
to the T out of Saints.
NASA.
NASA.
Because you spell NASA, you put the T in
there.
there.
It can be rearranged to Satan.
It could be rearranged to Satan. So supposedly the conspiracy is that's why they do a T minus in the countdown.
Yeah.
Which I've always wondered, like, why do they say T minus?
I thought it was like time minus, maybe.
I don't know. I've never.
I heard that though.
I took a field trip to NASA in 4th grade when I was when we lived in the Bay Area, when I lived in San Jose.
Yeah. What, you just went to the facility?
Yeah, they have a little facility. Like, you don't really like. They don't show you nothing crazy,
right.
but you just go in and you see kind of like where all their, I guess, technicians, if you will, they're watching the cameras and they're watching the graphs and things like that. But
yeah, man, so basically, man, the earth is flat, and that video explained a little bit of what if we was able to roam freely, what it kind of would look like. But back to my boy Admiral C. Byrd, who went to the North Pole, reported that. So basically, when he got done going around the world, he went to the ice wall, flew over the ice wall. He said he was flying over ice for like hundreds of miles or something. And then he came across a body of water in another continent, big as North America, right? That he literally says that no person has seen before. Then they silenced him, quickly founded NASA right after he did all that, right? Quickly came with an Arctic treaty shortly after that. So, which is strange because, you know, as a nation and all the other nations, we really don't agree on anything, but we could agree, like 76 countries or something, 72 countries agree to not have none of their people in all borders, wherever you come from, their military guards Antarctica, the ice wall. They will come intercept you through air, land, or water. You need to turn around.
What's this dude's name again? Say it one more time.
Richard Admiral Byrd.
What do you know?
Richard C. Byrd. He was an admiral.
Do you know the timeline of when he did all
man, this? I mean, the video was in black and white. It was a while ago. I cannot give you the exact date, but you can look him up. He's very known. That video is still on the internet. You can see it. He talks about this. Mm-hmm. His daughter released his diaries once he passed, and that's when you found out he landed in over there through the North Pole. And Inner Earth is real too. And
I was gonna bring that up later.
He supposedly seen some people, some giants, but they were friendly. and they asked them what you was doing over here, and it was like, yo, people don't let y'all come over here, and yeah, and I don't know why I didn't say this in the last one, but with quick with these aliens, they keep saying this is a prison planet too, and you guys are we're caught in a soul trap here, so reincarnation might be not what we think it is, and we keep coming back to suffer apparently, and yeah, we ain't supposed to be doing that. So don't go into the light out here. Do not go into like turn around. The light sends you back here. But yes, that was a side note. But yeah, they that's where the aliens come from. They live beyond our ice wall. That's why they admitted it. They said they don't come from space. They come from here. Because space isn't real. They don't. This is extraterrestrial, extra land. That's where that comes from. And it's a lot. I mean, it's a lot. There's a map. I don't know how real that map is, but it's supposed to be a map where it's just hell of freaking planets here. Like dome.
I've seen a map. God, I can't remember the year, but I think you could get it. There's like a book in the library you could grab. It shows the old map of the Earth with the ice wall.
Yeah.
And then there's an updated one that has like been changed a little bit.
Mm-hmm. Apparently in encyclopedia, I got a video of this guy going in his garage getting an encyclopedia, like one of the first ones. Mm-hmm. And they speak of the dome and everything. They measured it. They got to where it's at. They speak of the ice wall. And right after NASA was founded, they changed encyclopedias and took that out because they hate us. They don't want us to know. They don't want us to know that, man. For real, they be, man, I hate NASA. They be just liars. But I want to know why you still on the fence with this flat Earth, man. Like, give me where you not. What's not convincing you? Like, what else do you need to see? I didn't told you.
I don't know. I think it's one of those things I don't spend a whole bunch of time on. I spent, because of how we were raised,
right?
I spent way more time in the religion thing,
right?
So there was more things that I was wanting to debunk there, and I'll save that for a whole nother topic. But then it also just goes along with like, bro, like years of unlearning.
It's hard. I mean? It's hard.
And then, like, truth be told, I just never really cared if the Earth was flat or round. It's never been like, it's like the last thing on my plate that I care to unravel, if you will. I'm more interested in like, since I started doing like meditating and things like that, you know what I mean? I'm more interested on the side of making myself better, becoming a better human, becoming a better being, however you want to put it there. So like for me, flat Earth is like where I'm just not really trying to spend all my time at. But I mean, there's a lot of things that make sense about it. Like, cause I'll say this, like the Bible talks about the firmament.
Right. And the Earth doesn't move.
And then it also talks about, like, I always laugh because like the Bible talks about the four corners of the earth.
Mm-hmm.
And in my mind, like, how can there be four corners of the earth if it's a ball?
Right.
But
you don't think
you people always want to teach that, oh, well, the four corners means north, south, east, and west. But then like, that's where I'm like, well, if it would have said that, or if it would have said north, south, east, and west, then whatever. But yeah, you know, it's just one of those things. I'm just like, whatever, who cares?
Yeah, I mean, like when before I was a flat earther, I didn't believe it. And my boy that told me about it, he tried to convince me, and I was always say like, well, why would they lie about the shape? Like, what are we gaining here?
That too. What is there to
right? Gain? And that's why I really didn't trip off in my brother. I mean, if this is flat Earth ball, I'm still here. It don't matter. But me being a conspiracy theorist, I was like, you know, let me look into this. So I kind of went into to debunk him, not debunk him, just say like, well, you don't have no proof. Which a lot of people, that's how they become flat earthers. You're going to find something that's going to stick with you that's not going to sit well. My thing was, since I already was a space head, was the stars constellation. That one for me solidified. It was like, we're not moving because we have the same star constellations every night for thousands of years. They have not changed. And they'll be there tomorrow too. And for us to be going by the measurements that NASA give us, how we're 3 types of speeds hurtling through nothingness at breakneck speeds for eternity, and the stars are with us. And I get people like, well, the stars are traveling with us. Nah. So we just got a whole bunch of just everything moving at this once. I'm not going for that. I'm not going for that because this is how you're not going for that.
I can see that.
Star trails debunks that instantly. Every night, there's star trails that go in a perfect circle around us, right?
Mm-hmm.
The North Star does not move, right? So if we're doing a bunch of like, we got, look, we got this, and then this is the sun, and we're doing this, and it's spinning, it's hurling through. How is it all these stars in this perfect circle every night? Like, how is that? And people don't question that. And I'm like, okay, if you don't question it, if that makes sense to you, then I can't help you, right? Another reason I can prove that the sun is local. It's not 90 million miles away. So if that's not the case,
my man said you could prove it.
I can prove it. What are you talking about? You got hot spots, bro. You got literally where it be in the middle of the ocean and the sun is just, you see the sunlight on the ocean. So how is it a hot spot coming from 90 million miles away? We can do a flashlight with my light on my phone, right? Hot spot. Goes further away, it dissipates, right? So this is what it looks like. If it goes like this, it'll heat up regions of the earth, right?
Mm-hmm.
90 million miles away, the hot spot goes away. Simple. I just proved that right there. I have so many pictures and videos of hot spots, bro. And another thing, I just did a video at work 3 days ago. You can see the moon and the sun during the day at the same time.
Facts.
Explain that to me, Glober. How is that possible on the globe?
I don't know.
Explain your best mind way to explain that. How is that possible to where I Googled Egypt, right? So when it's 2 p.m. California, right? It's midnight in Egypt. Okay. So Egypt got their moon in the sky, shining bright because it's nighttime, right?
Okay.
Us on the other side of the planet, right?
Mm-hmm.
We see the moon during the day, but we still got the sun. So how is it that we can both see the moon, but we can see the sun and they don't see the sun? So why we can see one or the other?
So you're saying that Egypt, they can't see the moon and the sun at the same time?
No, when it's daytime, they can. But at nighttime, you only see the moon, right?
Right. So at nighttime, we only see the moon.
Right. But my whole problem is this, though. It's nighttime over there when it's daytime over here. If we're in a ball and we're on this side and it's daytime with the sun over here, the moon should be on this side, right? Because it's nighttime, right? We still see the moon on this side when it's daytime. So how is it that at night you only see one light, but during the day you see both? If we're on a spinning ball.
Well, the moon, technically, going by what it is,
right.
The moon reflects the sun.
Okay.
So, I don't know.
Right. I'm just asking you to think about it because this is what people would literally see this for their own eyes and don't question that.
But then, okay, so then wouldn't you say there's some type of movement somewhere?
No, yes. So the earth is not moving. They're moving above us, the sun and the moon.
I was about to say, so you're saying the moon and the earth are rotating. Or sorry,
yes.
The moon and the sun
are rotating above the earth, just like the Bible says, yes. 2 lights that's local underneath the firmament. One is way brighter than the other. And the reason why you can see the moon during the daytime is because if you look at it, we're on a plate, right? There's no ball. So the moon and the sunlight, the reason why you can't see the sun at nighttime because it's a hot spot. So it goes over there to the other side of the plate towards only illuminating that side. But you can see the moon at both times because it's in the sky at the same time. That's why. The only reason why you can't see the sun at night is because it's too far. But that alone doesn't make sense on a globe to be able to see the moon during the day, the whole day. It never leaves. You know what I mean? So that was a big red flag. It didn't make sense for me to figure out that the sun is our heat source. Heat rays are coming 90 million miles away, but they're only heating up certain parts of the globe. That doesn't make sense either. That doesn't make sense. If heat is traveling this far, people, 90 million miles, you know how far 90 million miles is, bro?
I mean, I know when you hear it, you're like, that's
like give you something so outrageous, right? They'll just believe that. 90 million miles, space is that big, the sun is that big. It's not that big because, like I said, you trying to tell me during eclipse, the moon and the sun are perfect distances away, that they're the same size when they come across each other. We're just that lucky. And then again, they try to tell us that the moon, Google, how was the moon created right now?
All right, I'm looking at it. It says right here, the sun is 93 million miles.
Mm-hmm. The moon should be 250,000 miles.
Okay, what do you want me to Google? How
was the moon created?
It says the moon is created by a giant impact between Earth and a Mars-sized protoplanet called Theia.
It said it was a collision, right?
Yeah.
That made a perfect circle. That's wild. That's how slow they believe us to be. They'll just believe anything because they'll keep you distracted with a bunch of problems. So you can come up here and be like, oh, I don't care about where we live at.
But could it be, it just looks like a perfect circle to us from a distance?
I mean, you can tell yourself whatever you want. I mean, the fact that they told me it broke off another rock, and even if it's not perfect, that's a pretty good circle though. That doesn't rotate, that we only see one side of. That's weird too, right? We only get to see one side of the moon.
So what are you getting to?
I'm getting to that if space and if these lights are not that far as we can know, right? Mm-hmm. That means they're lying. And if they're lying, then I'm going with flat Earth. And that's another reason why I believe, and I would never go back to believe the other way, because you can't explain that. You can't explain like that. You want me just to believe that. I don't do that. I'm not going to believe that. That doesn't make sense to me. Like I said, 93 million miles away, top of the Earth and the bottom of Earth are cold. And the middle is just warm. Like how? Why is it dissipating? It should just be everywhere, right? It's kind of that far. It should everything. Everything should be fucking solid. But no, some parts don't even get, like, it just won't heat up. And but at the same time, we're going all around it. Parts of June, the summer solstice, we're on the other side of the sun, but we're still getting the same picture. Like, it should be behind us. Like, we shouldn't be able to see. It should be on the other side of the ball, blind from the people that's living on the ball. But it's not. It's always visible, 24/7, 365 days a year, same star constellation, the same spot. So much that they built the pyramids in Egypt to align with Orion's belt. You want to Google how long they built them?
I'll Google it.
Yeah, see how long that was ago.
What was it? Google what?
The pyramids of Giza.
2600 BC.
Before Christ. Damn, that's old. Okay, so.
They claim it takes about 26 years to construct.
So how much time has passed since 26 BC to now, 2025? I want to ask you that, but it's a long time.
That's a long, long time.
And people don't know the pyramids of Giza. There's 3 of them. They line up with Orion's belt.
So,
spot on.
I know about the pyramids aligning with Orion's belt.
Yes.
I didn't know what they were called, but I've heard about that.
Right. So they haven't moved out of place, not even a little bit, over thousands of years. And you want me to believe that as I said, you're giving me speeds and times in the Earth curvature, right? There's been test after test after test with this camera called the Nikon P1000. Mm-hmm. They discontinue it because it had the best zoom on any camera, and people were debunking the curvature because they'll see ships on the water, and it'll disappear from the naked eye, right? So like, oh, I went over the curvature, right? NASA has a curvature calculator on their website to show you how many miles, feet under the curvature should be, right? Time after time, this camera debunks it. You zoom in, it comes right back in view. It didn't disappear. It just went out of your sight, right? Mm-hmm. So much. There was so many videos on YouTube, right? Remember that big eclipse we had in April last year?
The one that was supposed to
yeah, they had all the military out there. They said they would shoot a missile. Okay, bet. I like that you remembered that. Okay. Yeah. Guess who bought that camera and discontinued for people to buy it right before that eclipse?
Tesla.
NASA. They were like,
I tried to not go with the obvious.
They wanted nobody to get zoom in on that eclipse that was so high alert. You know what I mean? Because you would have seen that wasn't the moon that went in front of the sun. It was what I just showed you. Mercury, aka the black sun, coming from Middle Earth. It comes up. And that's what that was. And I think it's very funny that NASA bought and discontinued that camera because it was going against the agenda. Too many people, but like I said, if they got enough people to go against it, who cares if like a few hundred find out?
What's that camera called again?
The Nikon P1000.
Nikon?
Yeah, the Nikon, the brand. Let's get into the second video though. With I got 2 more of these flat Earth videos. I think this one, it's gonna be a girl talking about how she became a flat earther with the flight patterns. This is another big red flag that people ignore.
I would say this. That's probably been the biggest one for me.
The flight patterns?
The flight patterns. That's when I've looked at anything regarding flat Earth outside of the Bible.
Yeah.
Talking about the firmament and all that. Flight patterns have been the biggest. Like, I'm like, man.
Come on, man. I mean, somebody like, come on, y'all. Come on, man.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's play it.
Let's check this out.
This exact thing made me a flat earther. I was on a plane that needed to do an emergency landing. So I was taking a flight from Portugal to New York City. So Portugal is right about here. New York City would be right about here. A guy on our plane had a medical emergency. We had to make an emergency landing. On the back of every seat, they had these screens where you could watch the little airplane like as it's flying. So we're like right about here.
I've seen that before.
And when they announced the emergency landing, they did like a sharp turn and went all the way up here to St. John's in Canada. And everybody was like, why are we doing that? Like, that's going to take so much longer. Like, he needs help, because they thought he had like a stroke or something. The way it looked on the screen, you would have thought it was like a 90-degree angle, but the plane didn't turn at all. I started researching how or like why
flat
this
Earth
was.
map.
I stumbled upon a flat Earth map. Portugal is about right here. St. John's is right here. And I realized that's why it showed like a 90-degree angle turn and the plane didn't turn at all. And then I started looking at other emergency flight landing paths. That is the fastest way to become a flat earther, is just looking at emergency flight paths. There is not one that makes sense on the globe, and there's not one that doesn't make sense on the flat earth map. Also, if you guys didn't know, submarines use sonar that's based on flat earth. And
Yes, so
pilot
do
training
planes.
manuals explicitly say to treat the earth as if it's a stationary flat plane.
Why would
This is
they say
satire
that,
for
though?
entertainment only.
That's crazy.
Come on, man. Like you guys choose to ignore this. You're going to leave here today still not 100% flat earther. And that's concerning, because what more have you need to see to know, like, regardless if you don't think it's flat, we're not on a ball for show. Okay? We can be on a box, a square. It don't matter what you think. Just the globe thing is bullshit. It's completely bullshit.
Yeah, the flight patterns.
Every flight pattern looks
me the most.
Makes so much sense on a flat Earth map. The reason why you can see the damn moon during the daytime makes so much sense on a flat Earth map, but everybody's gonna ignore that, and they're not gonna know. You know what I mean? So it's just a lot. It's a lot, and that's the gateway. You know how they say like weed is the gateway drug?
Right.
Flat Earth's the gateway, because once you see how hard they go to pushing this space to you, then you'll see how far they're corrupt and how corruption goes. How deep they're willing to lie. Like, then you'd be like, what else are they lying about? Right. And then that's why we can pull up a patent to where they can teach you how to walk through this damn wall right here. Like, how is that possible? But it's very possible, according to the CIA. You know what I mean? So that's just another thing. It's just, truth is stranger than fiction, man. You live, like, every movie you've seen that's fantasy about giants and dragons and people with abilities and powers and stuff, all that shit is real. And that's how they tell you it's real, through that. They make you think it's fake, but it's real.
So we have about 8 minutes left.
Okay, let's do this last video, and then
I got something I want to show you.
All right, let's do this last video real quick of this flat Earth. Went to
Truth
this
is
college.
that you can't have gas pressure in the midst of a vacuum without a solid container.
Yes. Yes, you're right. So if you have gas, it would expand into the vacuum, absolutely.
So do you know of any demonstrations of gas pressure in the middle of a vacuum without a solid barrier between the two?
No. The fact that planets move around, there are lots of evidence.
So I meant experimental evidence. So
That's experiment.
what's the independent variable in that experiment?
Okay, I mean, you can drop things in the vacuum.
Talking about an ideal gas expanding against a vacuum.
The vacuum is there's a zero medium, so everything's
You can
equally
drop,
more dense.
Objects.
Talking about an ideal gas expanding against a vacuum.
As
You just take a room,
Yeah.
evacuate the air, and drop
Right.
things, and then they all fall the same.
Gas expanding against a vacuum.
Is that demonstrable in any way?
I'm not sure.
Let's say if I pressurize shoebox inside of a vacuum, I poke a hole inside that shoebox. Is there any way to demonstrate air not going into the vacuum and staying inside the box?
I don't think so. As you said, I think you're absolutely right. If you poke a hole, it will go out. I know. I
The
can't.
second law of thermodynamics stipulates that you can't have a gas pressure system in the midst of a vacuum. Like a high pressure always goes to low pressure.
Yes, that's true. So it has pressure, and it
It just goes out into the
Yeah.
vacuum.
Yeah, I think people that first hear encounter flat Earth, they all say, "Well, I once believed that it was a stupid idea, but I tried to refute it and I couldn't." Well, that's because you didn't go to the right sources. You went on the internet and you heard these arguments from flat earthers that you couldn't answer.
Yeah.
Just because you didn't know the answers. I know the answers. I haven't encountered an argument yet I couldn't refute.
So how do you have gas pressure?
This is the guy that was just talking.
Right.
You sure answered them questions, huh?
Nothing. Danny Faulkner, PhD astrophysicist.
because. Sorry.
Why doesn't Earth's gravity hold the air inside of the shoebox which is in the midst of a vacuum?
Because the gas has pressure, so it has pressure.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully people understood what that was. Basically, you can't have nothing that's going on here without it being a container, aka the firmament, aka the dome. They try to say it's not a dome, but they can't explain a lot of stuff like gravity, which is also a theory. It's not true. You could
What
disprove
you
gravity
saying?
with vibrations and sounds.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, so you can, if you figure out so first off, everything's vibrating. If you figure out that frequency, you can make it you can manipulate it, and make it
I seen that video of the kid. He has the horn,
Yes.
and I don't know what else to call it other than a horn, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
super long. And when he
Mhm.
starts
He's blowing it in, the rock starts floating.
the rock, he moves the rock with the horn by the vibration, and
Yes.
then it picks up the rock. And then it made me kind of like think, like, what if that's how airplanes work? What if the engines just create a strong vibration? But that's a
Dude, you know
that's a
what
whole
you say?
nother topic.
You know you said this, right? And you know there's a huge conspiracy with airplanes because the amount of fuel they say the airplane holds in its wings
Mhm.
is no way true. Is no way. So you just said something that I've been talking about people like I said the way airplanes work are not how they're telling us.
maybe
That
video made me think that. I just thought, like, how loud are airplanes?
very loud.
You know what I mean?
I just got off one
Right.
hour ago.
So
2 hours ago.
that made me think. I mean, I've never put thought into the gas and all that, but when I saw that video, I couldn't just help. Like, that's like one of those things where, like, messing with your ass.
Yeah.
I can't look at nothing normal no more.
Man. You live in the world that just lies, bro. Yes. Get into what you say. I we're gonna leave this flat Earth right here. Hopefully,
But like, so this video,
I done woke some people up.
nothing about flat Earth. Really, nothing about
I'm not
what we're talking
surprised.
about today.
Right.
But a video I want to show you. So
Let's see.
my favorite video game ever, Resident Evil. So they remade a whole bunch of them for the Xbox, made some spin-offs and made just better graphics or whatnot. But check this video out. So this game came out in 2015, and just listen to the introduction of the game.
All right.
I'll let Matt know when to stop it.
All right.
Listen closely.
Bioterror. The world lives with it. You live with it. Viruses are stolen, re-engineered, misused with tragic results. And who are you supposed to trust? Politicians who sell their souls for a few votes? CEOs who betray consumers for a quick buck? Count on us instead. We're above the politics, always watching, always ready to face the threat head on. We are the unflinching mop that sops up the evils of bioterrorism and chemical warfare. They call us Terra Save. Because Terra doesn't have to end with a wrist.
You're gonna have to stop there, man. So what's crazy is you see the little dinner party.
Yeah.
They don't really say yet if it's like government or who, what happens.
Right.
But these dudes come in helicopters, they shoot out the windows, take everybody hostage,
Yeah.
inject them with this virus, and then they turn into like your quote unquote zombie monsters. They just mutate.
Mm.
But like, how accurate is that to today? This game came out in 2015.
Sounds a lot of like something,
Exactly, bro. I was like, all that at the house playing the game. My wife was like, yeah, she was, she's not conspiracy like.
You should bring her on one day though.
But she was like, man, that sounded a little too close.
Too close to home, huh?
Too close
Well,
to
I tell
home.
you, they video games, TV shows, cartoons, and movies. They're gonna tell you. But that is pretty. That's crazy.
That's crazy, right?
That's crazy.
That's how accurate, even to the point of like he said, the politicians and everything.
Sold his soul for some votes.
Right?
Man, look, man. I don't even vote.
I didn't vote.
I don't. I just like it's
That's my conspiracy. I'll vote when it comes to like local, like maybe like
Yeah.
mayor, sheriff, governor, maybe. But when it comes to the president, bro, I'm convinced that no matter you have this person running, no matter who wins,
they on the same team.
this is the person making all the decisions. That's my conspiracy.
It's just an illusion of choice they have to give you, but they already know. Just like everybody was tripping off that viral video of Trump and Barack cracking jokes at Jimmy Carter's funeral.
Mm-hmm.
Come on, man. Like I said, they're gonna let you know what it is. You know what I mean? Because a couple years last year, you could swear Obama hated Trump.
Right. And, we'll end it on this, but you know what? The craziest little thing was for me this year that kicked off 2025 was the explosion here in Vegas at the
Cybertruck,
and it was a Tesla vehicle at the Trump Tower. I'm like, bro, you can't. That ain't no coincidence.
That was set up. But that guy that actually did that. That's another rabbit hole right there.
So that's it, bro. That's our time. So
yeah, man. Hope y'all enjoyed this one, man. I could go on and on about this flat Earth, man, but I just gave a little bit. You know what I mean?
tsfiction@myyahoo.com. Hit us up.
Yes.
Let us know
Truth
what you
is
want to
stranger
hear.
than fiction,
What you want
man.
to talk about, questions, all the nine. So
Please email us. Please tune back in. We'll be back. Some more good shit, exposing the truth.
Yeah, shout out to Matt.
Shout out to
work,
Matt,
bro.
man. He did his thing.
We out of here.
Yes, sir.